success running. So we left points off the board, and Drew called the plays that he was told, so I don't penalize him for that. He did sneak in and score a touchdown from half yard out, which was a very, very good play to call because Seattle was not expecting it. Overall, my grade for Drew for mid-year is A+. My grade for him in the Seattle game, A+. I mean, this team wins and goes with Drew, and I cannot say anything about Drew and his play. The Saints are averaging nearly 30 points a game, 29 points something. They're averaging nearly 34, 33 a game in the Superdome. The only area that I need Drew to improve in is on the road. On the road. I still gave him an A+, and I was thinking about just giving him a solid A because on the road, he does not look the same in some ways, and I need that road performance. Now, some of the play on the road is his young wide receivers and the intangible of the Saints. It's not Drew, but some of it is the Saints with young players going into hostile environments, like the Giants, San Diego, and the Chiefs. Drew's stats fall down considerably on the road, and so we're going to need just a better play of the entire offense to support Drew on the road, and I think they can do it. I think the Saints are building some confidence after the Seattle win. They played Kansas City, tooth and nail. They went on the road and played the Giants, tooth and nail. They had the Raiders game. If you take away the 2 turnovers against the Falcons, they would have beaten the Falcons. They're not afraid of any of these teams. You don't want to play a New Orleans Saints team. I'll say it. The Saints can beat any of these teams in the NFC, every last one of them, partly because they have really 3 solid weapons at wide receiver with Brandon Coleman and Kobe Fleener beginning to come up. So you have about 5 weapons. You cannot really stop this offense. This offense is only stopped in most cases with penalties or a drop pass or turnover. When the Saints are on their game, no one can stop this team from scoring 30 points. Their offense is just as potent as the Atlanta Falcons. So if they can continue to play consistently without turnovers, Drew continue to play solid, the Saints are going to hold you to the 2, and you're going to be in the game, and they're going to battle you to the end. So I like our chances in any of the game. We're just about, after next week against Denver, we will have made it through the very, very difficult part of our schedule. And if they can beat San Francisco, find some kind of way to beat Denver, which I'm not afraid of Denver. I'm not going to look past San Francisco. The Saints could find themselves, if possible, at 5-4, going into the, not so difficult part of their schedule based on the record. Now, every game is difficult now because there's so much parity. So they can find themselves, but in the words of T-Boz, as he stated, if they do not show up against San Francisco, then they are what we thought they are. The Saints have got to beat San Francisco, and we'll get into that in a moment. So my grade for Drew was A++. Kyle, your thoughts on Drew's play at mid-year or Drew's play against the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, we have to give him a solid A. I will give him an A- for the year, but I will give him an A for his performance against Seattle. The only reason I would give him an A- is because of the interceptions. He's thrown 18 touchdowns. He's had 5 interceptions. But in the the San Diego game, throwing those 2 interceptions could have turned the tides against the Saints dramatically. But we were able to compensate but only toward the end of the game, to pick up 2 critical turnovers ourselves. But Drew is doing an outstanding job, man. To think at his age, he's completing 69.5% of his passes, man. And like you said, Professor, on track for another 5,000-yard season. Man, it's just amazing what he's been able to do. And he's at 104.7 rating as a quarterback. That's just outstanding, man. And I have to applaud him. But one thing I do like, and I think is kind of, and I know you're going to talk about the offensive line, but these guys, Drew has only had 2 he's averaging less than 2 sacks per game. As much as he's passing, only 2 sacks per game. That's really, really good.
Yes, that is. That's outstanding. Because the Saints do throw the ball a lot. I think with the evolving and the discovery of Hightower, Drew may not have to throw the ball as much, which leads me in the segue to jump to the running backs. Tim Hightower, Mark Ingram, Daniel Lesko, and Travaris Cadet, Marcus Murphy. My grade for the running backs, for the Seattle game, Tim Hightower and the running attack, A, and they're improving. The last 3 to 4 games, the Saints are averaging nearly 100 yards per game, 97. When they started the year, the first couple of games, they were averaging 88. So they are improving. And my overall grade for the Saints running attack would be a C, because this was the first 100 yards we got. And partly why the grade has been downgraded is because of the situation that's now evolving around Mark Ingram with the fumbles. And Mark, I just want to encourage you, because we don't tear down people, we just call the facts. I want to encourage you to hold your head up, get back in the game, make the best of it when you get back in the game, because we need you in the passing game. You are still the best all-around back. Put Kansas City and Seattle behind you and get your confidence back. And listen to what the running back coach is, running back coach and the coaches are telling you in terms of how to hold the ball. You're a big dude, upper body and build. You should not be getting stripped. And Kyle has been belaboring that point for the last couple of years, that you hold the ball, too loosely.
Too low.
So this is a quick and easy fix. The same way Marcus Murphy, you both fix this, and you both will see, more playing time. But I think right now the Saints have got to ride the hot hand of Tim Hightower. Tim Hightower had 30-plus rushes for 102 yards. And Tim Hightower, in the words of what Sharita stated on Wednesday, seems to be more hungry and more diversified with his cuts and different things. So there will be plenty of time for both of them to get the ball. And I think San Francisco does not have the greatest run defense. We're probably going to have to give a heavy dose of Hightower, and we'll see Mark Ingram. I would like to see Mark on passing situations, because he's so great in pass receiving for the team. He's developed into a really great pass receiver. So there's room for both of them. Hopefully there will be no jealousy, no envy, or no feuding like we had with Chris Ivory and Mark. So we don't want that to develop. So thanks, fans. Please do not push that, because these young fellas read the social media and the paper and all of that. And the best thing to do, Mark Ingram, is stay away from any type of online, internet, any type of stuff where you can read what people are saying. There is room for both of you, and we need both of you. So it's just a blessing to have depth and running backs that can help in improvement. So continue the improvement this week against San Francisco. My overall grade is a C, and then Travaris Cadet, I need a little more, Travaris. We need a little more from you. It's not fair to compare you to Darren Sproles, because you're not Darren Sproles. But we need more of you on those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Those were the type of plays that Darren Sproles would catch, take the 6 or 8 yard and turn it into 15 or 20. So we need you to be able to do more in that game. And also, I would like to see little young Marcus Murphy given an opportunity to come in on, to play, that role as a pass catcher in the running back position, if possible, Coach Payton, to give him a shot, and also give him a shot back at returning punts and kickoffs. Besides the 59-yarder from Tommy Lee Lewis, we're not getting a whole lot there. So why not give Marcus Murphy a chance, one game, to see what he can do, because we can use a spark in our return game. Daniel Lesko has filled in adequately, nothing big or anything there yet from him. So he's not going to be playing this game, so I'm hoping to be able to see more of the young Daniel Lesko and what he's able to do. I think the running backs are getting better and getting stronger as the season progresses. And so they're average right now, nothing spectacular, but hopefully the second half of the season this C grade can move up at least to B status. I don't expect it to be A, but who knows? With the evolution and evolving of Hightower, things could be looking up and up in this area of the running game. KT, your thoughts on the running game?
Yeah, the running game has to improve, man, and we have to be able to take note of the fact that Mark Ingram is a great running back, in my opinion. I don't think getting rid of him is going to be the answer for the Saints, but you ever notice what happened in years past, especially the 2 years that Ingram and Ivory were going back and forth and people were competing against him social medially. That's not a word, but I'm going to do like Trump, social medially. That we noticed whenever Ingram would have a bad game, he came back and had outstanding games. You ever notice that? He really took his opportunities when he was able to get into the game, and he just ran a lot harder. I remember people were saying, man, this guy's not running as hard as Ivory. He's not doing what he needs to do. Came back. He had an outstanding game against the Packers and the Cowboys and everything. So could that happen? Possibly. So if he's given that opportunity to step on the field, and I think Sean Payton will give him that opportunity. He may not start, but he will have that opportunity to share some of the ball on Sunday against the 49ers. So as a whole, I think they're still underutilized, in my opinion, because if you have a guy like Murphy on the bench, you have Danny Lasco, who has been injured, and he's going to be out for this game as well. He's been hampered with injuries around 3 games already this season, right? And then you have a guy like Travaris Cadet that's, I don't know what his role is any longer, other than he does a decent job picking up blitzes for Drew from time to time. But could we see somebody else to be able to make an impact in this game? And hopefully Marcus Murphy will have an opportunity to do so on the road with Danny Lasco being out. So my grade would be C altogether as a group. And in the game on Sunday, I will give them a B+.
Okay, B+. And my grade for the game, I forgot to say, my grade for the game against Seattle was an A-, because they only averaged like maybe 3 yards a carry, close to that. But it was tough running, and they were consistent. And Coach Payton did not abandon the run. So that's the balance we need for Drew. All right, so that's the running back and Drew and the quarterback. Let's now go to the wide receivers. And what can you say about Michael Thomas, who's the leading receiver, 500 yards, Brandon Cooks, the second leading receiver, 530, Willie Snead with 409 or close to 410. Even Kobe Fleener is at 337. You got potentially 3 wide receivers to go over 1,000 and a tight end that may wind up with 700. No team in the NFL has those type of statistical leaders with this tandem. I mean, this tandem, I cannot say anything but, I still need more for Fleener, but as a tandem, my grade for them is just simply an A+. Because the Saints are putting up points and they're playing great. They had one bad game, that game against the Giants, where they was cast for the ghost. I want them to build up more confidence on the road, learn to be able to play in hostile environments with noisy fans, because on the road, sometimes some of them disappear. And Michael Thomas will be up for Offensive Rookie of the Year if he's able to continue his success. And he's been a great addition to the team. Brandon Coleman is beginning to make plays. He's gotten a big play this week. He had a touchdown last week, and so everything with offense, even Tommy Lewis, when he gets his opportunities, has made a catch or two here. So they're in good shape at wide